Good afternoon. I'm Sam. I'm the Holistic Bitch. I'm also the founder of the Adventure Well lifestyle. It's been a couple of days since I made a video. I'm sick, but feeling better. I just super briefly, I feel like I say that every fucking time, I just want to talk for a couple of minutes about bitters and the bitter flavor and digestive bitters and cocktail bitters. The bitter flavor is something in the United States that we really don't value. It doesn't really appear in our culinary cuisine. Obviously from a primal standpoint, things that were bitter were poisonous, but at the same time, now that we kind of have a better handle on what's poisonous and what's not, for the most part, some of us are still fucking idiots, but the bitter flavor, oh, there's a plane. Loud. The bitter flavor is super important because it's important for digestion. In Chinese medicine, every flavor is indicative of the direction of the movement of the energy. So like bitter, if you taste something bitter, it has a downward moving energy, which would make sense because if you were to drink just bitter straight, you're probably gonna have a bowel movement afterwards, so it's gonna pull everything downward, versus like sweet is expansive and sour moves a different way. All of the flavors have some kind of a movement attached to them. So that being said, I talked a little bit when I talked about enzymes, about digestive bitters and taking them. So what happens when you take a digestive bitter, you have to taste it. You can't water it down. You have to actually taste the bitter in the back of your mouth. So you taste the bitter and then it sends a signal to the brain that says, secrete bile, secrete bile. And so the liver and the gallbladder are going to secrete the bile into the digestive tract so that you can start to break things down. So tasting that bitter flavor is so important. So eating foods that are bitter, burdock root, horseradish root, dandelion greens, arugula, things like that, they're going to have that bitter flavor, and so they're going to help with better digestion. If you know that you're not going to eat those kinds of foods, especially, the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's the holiday season, and I know that I have been guilty because I've been watching the British baking show, which means that I've been eating a lot of pastries because when I'm done watching it, I want whatever they made. But because we're eating a lot of things like that this season, it's really important to make sure that we're balancing it out. If you are going to eat that way, make sure you balance it out. So getting the bitters in your diet, which are around Christmas or just in general, because a lot of people won't eat it. If you're not going to get a bitter-based food, getting the digestive bitters is awesome. So you can purchase them. Urban Moonshine makes some. They have like a wormwood orange one. I actually happen to have one in my car right here. This is Herb Farms digestive bitters, and these are made, these are in absinthium, so they're just wormwood. They're super bitter. You spray a few sprays in your mouth before you eat, like 10 to 15 minutes. It'll make your mouth water. Sometimes it'll make your stomach growl. So you can buy Herb Farms or Urban Moonshine. There's quite a few different brands that will do it differently. They'll all taste a little bit differently. Some are more palatable than others. In this situation, the palatability doesn't really matter because you're not having it because it's delicious. You'll grow to like it, but in the beginning you're gonna be like, this is disgusting. Ass spray. One of my clients calls it ass spray, so that's fun. Because it tastes like ass, but it works for your ass. Anyways, if you want to make them yourself, they're super simple. You can get vinegar or brandy or you know, whatever. I have like a vodka at home that I'll use, and I'll take some bittering agents. So like I have one that has grapefruit peels in it, just in the vodka or the brandy, and then I have one that has wormwood just in the vodka or the brandy, and I basically just fill a little tiny mason jar and literally just cover it to the top with alcohol, let it sit, shake it up every day. This is like, basically that is like the wise woman tradition way of making a tincture. So you're making a tincture of it, and then you can blend different ones. So like for my brother-in-law for Christmas, I'm making him, I can say this because I don't think he's gonna watch this video, so it's perfect. But anyways, he works for a bourbon company, and so I'm gonna make him, they're essentially digestive bitters, but they're gonna be cocktail bitters, and they're gonna have the wormwood in them. I'm making one called the Gentleman's Bitter, and I made it kind of this like smoky flavor. So I actually used the black tea Lapsang Souchong because it smells like smoke, so I put that in there. So you can get really crazy with your bitters and make them have more flavors, but as long as that undertone is bitter. And then take it before you eat. If you want to put it in a cocktail, you can. I had a client that was abstaining from alcohol because she had some digestive stuff going on, but was a social drinker, and so she was used to drinking around people. So what I had her do is I sent her home with the bitters, and then I had her put it in seltzer water. So it's kind of tricking her brain, you know, she's getting that like, oh, this is kind of like alcohol-y tasting, but she's not consuming alcohol, but it also looks like she is, and it's fun and festive, and it tastes good, and it smells good, and it's good for her, and it's also helping to heal her digestive tract, because it's getting things moving so that her body can do what it's designed to do. So that being said, make some bitters, buy some bitters, cook with them. There are some recipes, some baking recipes that call for bitters in them. Drink an old fashioned, have a Manhattan, whatever, put it in seltzer water. Sometimes I'll just put like seltzer water, a little bit of bitters, and then I put some like elderberry syrup in it. It's super good and really, really tasty. But just make sure that during this holiday season you're paying attention to your digestive tract. Using the bitters is really, really an awesome way to do it because they're multifaceted. So if you have more questions on how to make them, at some point I'll do a tutorial about how to make them, and I will be teaching a class in Boise, Idaho in January. If you have questions about that, ask me. I'm going to teach it out of a chiropractic office, and I'll probably do one out of the Jump Center, but it'll be all about making digestive bitters and cocktail bitters. So, all right guys, see you later.